All right, hi everybody. This is gonna be a long one. This is gonna be long. I'm ridiculous for doing this, but this is what I do. So, if you're watching this, it's possible you follow me on Facebook and my Instagram, and I listen to music all the time. I'm a music junkie. I'm always absorbing new music. So this is the everything I listened to in 2018, and I ranked them all. So here are the 145 albums that I digested in 2018, ranked from my least favorite to my most favorite. This will probably take a while. I'm probably going to zoom through a lot of it, just for time's sake. And so that's the way it is. And again, no one's going to agree with me. I understand there's some records here that people love, and they're kind of down on the list from where they would have them, but that's just how it is. I'll explain as I go. And I can't... Sorry, not... Yeah, this will be a long take, so I'll probably flub some things and say some dumb stuff, but there you go. So, I'm just going to go through them, count down from 145 all the way to 1. Hang on. Oh, sorry. To my favorite record of the year that now, again, these are not records that came out in 2018. I think very few of these actually came out in 2018. It's just stuff that I listened to. So this was my musical world in 2018. Here we go. Number 141, Chris... Oh, by the way, they're going to be backwards. Maybe I'll fix it. Maybe they won't be backwards. Well, it's possible this video will be backwards. I'm going to try to fix it. Whatever. You'll figure it out. If this is backwards when you're watching it, I apologize. My phone is stupid. If not, disregard everything. 145, Chris Allen's self-titled record. So disappointed in this. There's one good song on here called Live Like We're Dying that turns out to be a B-side from the band The Script. That's why I put this at the very bottom, because there's only one good song on here, and it's a cover, and that almost insults me more than an album full of garbage. So, 145. Speaking of a record full of garbage, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14 albums that I'm going to show you, I didn't like a single song. Didn't like a single song off of them. So, Sugarland's Bigger. I was so excited they had a new record coming out. Terrible. Not one good song on here. That's why it's at the bottom. So disappointed. Bruce Hornsby on the Range. 143. A Night on the Town. Bruce Hornsby in the Range. You know what? I can just pull these stickers off. 142. Sorry. Halloween's Walls of Jericho. See the Halloween shirt I got on? I saw Halloween this year for the first time ever, and I'll never see them, and it was a big deal. So I spent this year... going through all the old Halloween stuff so I could be familiar with some of it when I got to the concert. But I tried to love this. I tried to love it when I was a kid. Don't like it at all. There you go. 141, No Name Face by Lifehouse. Didn't like it at all. Sorry, Jamie. 140, Real Life by Simple Minds. Not one good song. 139, Chestnut Street Incident by Johnny Cougar. Half of this is covers. I don't know why. I like John Cougar Mellencamp. I respect him immensely, but this is just a waste of time. 138, Mother's Army, Fire on the Moon. People from Night Ranger in this record, so I like Bob Daisley, and I forgot who was singing. But I always thought this would be great. I've owned it for 15 years. Finally got around listening to it this year. Not one good song. 137, Rick Emmett's Spiral Notebook. Rick Emmett from Triumph. Lead singer, songwriter, great guitarist. Monster talent. Didn't like this at all. 136, Stars by Simply Red. Didn't do anything for me. 135, Now You See Inside by SR71. I thought I was going to like this. Didn't. Not one song. I'm going to skip 134 because I know the people on 134 and I don't want to burn any bridges or piss anybody off or anything. So we're going to move on. 133, Sunstorm. Which one is this? Edge of Tomorrow. Great production. Boring songs. Sorry. 132, Famous Last Words by Supertramp. I love and respect Supertramp. I wanted to love this, but I really didn't. Just left me very cold. Didn't like one song. 131, I hate to say this, but Living Like a Runaway by Lita Ford. I love Lita Ford. Lita, Dangerous Curves, and Stiletto, those three records, I just adore them so much, and I was hoping for more, but really this is just boring. So, those records there, not one good song. Not one. Just a waste of my time, but so be it. Here we go. 130, 9 on a 10 scale by Sammy Hagar. I love Sammy Hagar. I adore Sammy Hagar, but this is early stuff by Sammy Hagar. Not good. The only song on here that's any good, really, is Flamingos Fly, and that's a cover of a Van Morrison song, which actually should put that on the bottom of the list if I'm keeping with my theme with Chris Allen. Oh, well, there you go. 129, Rabbit Don't Come Easy by Halloween. I'm really still trying to like the Darius era Halloween, but I'm just not digging it. One good song on here, Listen to the Flies. I like that song. Other than that, just don't care for this. Sorry. 128, Cry Pretty by Carrie Underwood. I love Carrie Underwood records. She's got a lot of great records, but this record bored me to death. I think there was one good song on here. What was it that I liked? I think The Bullets. Was that it? I think it was The Bullet. There was one good song on here for me, but I really was disappointed in this because traditionally she makes great. The last record she made, Storyteller, was awesome, but this, 127, The Wedding Album by Duran Duran. The song on here, Ordinary World, is a killer song. Always loved that song. Great song. But you know what? That's the only good song on here. Didn't like it. 126, the first song is by Laura Nyro. I never know how to say her name. I got this because one of my songwriting idols, Desmond Child, this is his songwriting idol. And I've heard of Laura Nyro. I don't know how to say her name. I've heard of her forever. I will dig into more of her stuff because I'm going to give her a chance, but this is her first recording. It's the only one I've heard so far. And really, I think, what was the song that I liked? I don't know, like Billy's Blues or something. I don't know. Just didn't like it. 125, The Moon Kings. This is a printout because I got the download of this, so I don't have a physical CD. But there was one good song on here, and other than that, I really didn't like it. Poor Man's Whitesnake, but not good enough. 124, It's Good Eve by Vonda Shepard. I respect Vonda Shepard, but this record was pretty boring. Sorry. 123, Diamond Rio by Diamond Rio. I dug the song Meet in the Middle. That was their big hit, Meet in the Middle. But other than that, this wasn't good. They have some better stuff later, but this is just their first record, so it's just not solid enough for me. 122, Owlsy by Owlsy. I see people that love this record, and I really did try to love it, but I just couldn't love it. I wanted to love it, but I couldn't, so 122. 121, Michael Morales by Michael Morales. I love Michael Morales. His other two records, Thump and The Hard Way, The Way It... What's The Way It Is? I can't think of it now. That's the Way. Those are great records. Thump is an awesome record, but this, I really didn't like this record. Again, first album by him, I think he's just trying to find his footing, so I don't know. I just didn't dig it. I wanted to, but I didn't. 120, Windsor Drive by Windsor Drive. I love their production. I love the guy's voice. They got a beautiful cover of Christopher Cross's Sailing, but I really ended up feeling cold on this record. The song Bridges was good, but I just wanted to love it. I thought I would love it. I didn't love it. 119 is Vanessa Carlton, Be Not Nobody. That song, 1,000 Miles, even though we're all kind of sick of it now, is really a great, great song. That is a great radio song. It's a great, well-written song. Everything about that song is great. And it's the only thing on here that's any good. 118, To See You by Harry Connick Jr. I really wanted to like this because I respect the crap out of Harry Connick Jr. He's a great musician, good songwriter. But this was like a lovey-dovey record, like it was meant to be a lovey-dovey record. And it really just left me cold. It was kind of drawn out a little bit, and I just didn't connect with a lot of it. There was like two good songs in here. Let's Just Kiss, I think was a song I liked. But mostly, didn't really care for that one. Talking fast, right? But we got a lot to get through. Sorry. 117, Us by Peter Gabriel. Digging in the Dirt was the song that I liked on here. Other than that, I tried to love it. Couldn't love it. I know a lot of these are going to sound this way up front. Like the first 30 or 40 is going to be like, I wanted to love it, but I couldn't. That's the way this is pretty much going to be. 116, The Robe by 10. I liked the song Arcadia. And other than that, I just couldn't get into it. I wanted to, but I couldn't. 115, this was really disappointing. And I apologize if this guy happens to see this. But Lucky Dog by Cliff Magnus, who I really do like the Cliff Magnus stuff that I know from the past. His solo record called Solo, I think, and the stuff with Planet 3. I love it, but I really didn't connect with this either. I wanted to, but I couldn't. I'm sorry. 115, Cliff Magnus. 114 is Freedom at Point Zero by Jefferson Starship. I think Jane's on here, right? What is on here? I forgot. I think Jane's, I don't know, whatever. I think Jane's on here, I'm not sure. There's one good song in here, other than that, are still too trippy for me, still too, just not polished enough. I like my music polished most of the time, and I just didn't care for this. So 114, Freedom.0 by Starship. 113, big disappointments. So You by Neil Sean, however you say his name, I still don't know. We had Neil Sean involved, Jack Blades involved, some of the writing. And I love Neil Sean, but I really just did not dig into this record. I wanted to, but I didn't. There you go. 112, Halloween again, The Dark Ride by Halloween. Mr. Torture was alright, and I think there was one other song I liked, but other than that, just tried to like it, couldn't. 111, 407 Years Ago by Reliant K. Deathbed was a cool song for what it is, and there was one other on here I liked, but other than that, out of 14 songs, I liked 2. Not good enough. 110, Under the Radar by Taylor Hicks. There's only 7 songs on here, and I liked one of them. So 1 out of 7. But I have this, I don't even know, this probably isn't valuable, right? I bought this a long, long time ago. I tried to like it, but I didn't. 109, I'm going to skip because I know that person, and he's a good dude, and I don't want to say anything negative. 108. Also, I went and saw Weird Al Yankovic earlier this year, and he did that tour where he was doing a bunch of obscure stuff. No parodies, all original material. So I also absorbed a bunch of Weird Al stuff this year. I love Weird Al, always have, but I did kind of get lazy in keeping up with him over the years. So, Adapalooza was 108. This was always, I never really cared for this record in the first place, but Traffic Jam is cool, and Harvey the Wonder Hamster. But overall, I always felt this was not a good Weird Al record. So, 108. There you go. 107 is Yngwie Malmsteen's symphony. What is it? Concerto Suite for electric guitar in E flat minor or whatever. I respect that he did this. I admire that he did this. This took a lot of work. Not many guitar players can actually do this. All that being said, I just couldn't remember how it went. Like, I'm just not into the classical, but I liked it for what it is. But when it's all said and done, I only really pulled out 2 or 3 tracks that I would want to carry with me the rest of my life. So, 107, Yngwie. 106, This House Is Not For Sale by Bon Jovi. Check out my YouTube review on this CD that I did, where everybody just told me to go to hell. I tell you what, man, if you do a YouTube video review on a record and you don't say amazing things about it, everyone's just going to give you a hard time. Because nobody wants to watch anybody shit on things, which I guess I understand. But man, so I got a review of them on this if you want to look at it, but don't. 105, I'm so sorry, everybody in the Melodic Mafia, but Groundbreaker did not move me. The first 2 songs, Will It Make You Love Me was good, and there was one other. I liked 2 songs. I remember liking 2 songs, and I really, really wanted to love this. I love the sound of it and the production and the big harmonies, but just didn't move me. I think I'm just, albums like this, I think my hard drive is just full, and there's just not a lot of room left in me for this anymore. I've just heard it all before. I probably feel the same way about my own records at this point. I don't know, but there you go. 105, Groundbreaker by Groundbreaker. 104 is Ultra Feel by Rubber, which is actually Harem Scarum. When Harem Scarum was doing the Rubber thing in the 90s, tried to like it, didn't like it. The song Headache is the one that I liked, I think, but that's kind of it. 103, sorry, Presto by Rush. Didn't care for this. I always liked Show Don't Tell and Available Light. I liked Available Light. Other than that, sorry, I love Rush, but not this one. 102, ooh, Paul Simon's self-titled record. I wanted to love this, but I didn't love it. Duncan is awesome. Duncan is great, and Run That Body Down is awesome. But that might be the only things on here I really liked. I'm so sorry. I didn't even like Mother and Child Reunion. So I have no soul. 102, Paul Simon. 101, First Signal by First Signal. This was the singer from Harem Scarum who did this project for Frontiers. They covered some Richard Marx songs on here. Again, I thought I'd love it. It's okay. Sorry. I'm saying a lot of negative things. I don't mean to. We're just at the bottom of the list, and it takes a lot to impress me. 100 is Better Than Raw by Halloween. Once again, I think I liked Halo. You know what? I don't even remember the songs on here that I liked. I did research all this before I started talking, though, and I did actually rank all these with a system, and I'm a nerd. 100, Better Than Raw by Halloween. 99 is 2 by Boyz II Men. Not as good as Philly Cool. Oh, what's the first one called? I don't know. Not as good as the first one, but there's a couple good things on here. I think I like Jezebel, and there was something else. I don't know. Anyway, 2 by Boyz II Men. 98. I never know how to say this. Fulfilling List First Finale by Stevie Wonder. Yeah. What is that? They Won't Go When I Go I liked, and then You Haven't Done Nothing is a cool song, and I listened to Haven't Done Nothing, and I think that's where Richard Marx got the idea for You Never Take Me Dancing, because it sounds a lot like that, which is awesome. Number 97 is Earthshaker by YNT. I know a lot of people love this record, and I just couldn't really get into it. I'm sorry. Again, I have the YNT collection, so it's like a bunch of records in one thing, but I don't have like the standalone album, so I printed out the cover. There you go. 96 is Legacy of the Keeper of the Seven Keys Legacy by Halloween. Again, Try to Love It, Couldn't Love It. There's 14 songs on here. I think I liked 3 of them. It just really doesn't deserve to be called Keeper of the Seven Keys. It just doesn't. But there you go. 96. 95. Ready and Willing by Whitesnake. I prefer the 80s Whitesnake. The 70s Whitesnake, although good, is too guitar-oriented, riffy, bluesy for me. And those songs just all blend together for me. All that bluesy guitar stuff, I've just heard it so much, I can't get turned on by it anymore. She's a Woman I liked, and I don't remember what else. There you go. God, we're still in the 90s. 94, Facing the Animal by Yngwie Malmsteen. I liked Braveheart and Another Time and My Resurrection. There you go. Moving along, Jason. 93 is What's Wrong with This Picture by Van Morrison. Van Morrison's always good, but some of his records are a little more thin than others, and this is one of them. Oh, keep going. 92 is Down to Earth by Rainbow. I love Since You've Been Gone, and I really think I only liked one other song on here. I'm sorry. This didn't do much for me. I know I should have, but it didn't. 92 is Down to Earth by Rainbow. 91, Twisting the Night Away by Sam Cooke. What else am I going to say about that? Number 90, I'm going to skip because I know people in that band. 89 is Guilty Pleasures by Quiet Riot. Just a pale version of what Quiet Riot used to be. I'm sorry. A couple good songs on here, but didn't blow me away. 88, speaking of that record, that song that was on this, that script cover that was on the Chris Allen record, I love that song, always have. Didn't know it was a script song until I dug into that Chris Allen record, and that made me go like, well, look, I should get the album Something by the Script then. I'll probably like the script. So here it is. The Script's self-titled album, number 88. 3 good songs. Not worth it. Sorry. 87 is Rascal Flatts by Rascal Flatts. Their later stuff was really good, but this is their first record, and I've always loved I'm Moving On. But other than that, and like, I don't know, there's a couple of good songs on here, but overall, not that good, so 87. 86, sorry, Sporting Kings by Triumph. I love Triumph, but I think that, again, I've heard these kinds of records too many times now for it to move me anymore. I love Surveillance, but I feel like if I heard Surveillance today, it wouldn't move me like it did when I was a kid. So this probably deserves a higher rating, but it just kind of went in and out. It's kind of like bounced off of all the songs that are already in my head. Like, oh, I got this one. You know what I mean? But there it is. 85, we're back to Halloween. Master of the Rings by Halloween. Take Me Home is good. Still We Go. The Game Is On. That's kind of it. 84, speaking of Halloween, Pink Bubbles Go Ape. Couple of good songs on here, but again, it's disappointing that this is only a few years after the Keepers records. I think this is when they were breaking up and it was kind of falling apart. Couple of good songs on here. Kids of the Century, I think I liked, and Heavy Metal Hamsters, I actually did like. But that's kind of it. There you go. 83, and I'm disappointed, is Faust by Randy Newman. I love Randy Newman, but this was some kind of like I think he did a musical, and so the songs got to like fit a narrative, and some of the songs are beautiful and brilliant, but only a handful, and the rest is kind of messy for me. But it's awesome though. If you're a big fan, I would check this out. You got Randy Newman and James Taylor is God, and Don Henley is Faust, and Bonnie Raitt's on here, and Elton John sings on here. It's pretty great. I mean, the experience of it is pretty good, but the songs, there's a couple good ones, but overall, it's a little bit too many songs with not enough good ones. 82, Raise Your Fist and Yell by Alice Cooper. I listened to this very early in the year, so I don't really remember anything about it. So there you go, 82. 81. This was the year of Bruno Mars for me. I dug into all the Bruno Mars records this year, and there was only 3, and they got progressively better. So 81 is Doo-Wops and Hooligans, right? Some good things on here, but Nothing to Blow Me Away, Runaway Baby, Count on Me is great, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. 81. All right. We're almost halfway there. 80 is Caribou by Elton John. Ticking alone, the song Ticking was awesome. I've heard of Ticking my whole life, and it's not a hit, but if you've never heard the song Ticking, Ticking is a great song. I Never Like the Bitches Back. Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me is a great song, but I wish they'd re-record it. I mean, I guess they can't. The production on this is not very good. Anyway, 80, Caribou by Elton John. 79, the other end of the Rascal Flatts spectrum. 79 is Back to Us by Rascal Flatts. I thought this would be better. I hate that they did I Know You Won't. They covered that Carrie Underwood song. It's such a beautiful, beautiful song. Carrie Underwood did it, and it was really good. And then there's a YouTube video somewhere online of Kelly Clarkson doing it, which is so good. But there's no studio version as far as I know of Kelly Clarkson doing it. And then Rascal Flatts jumps on the bandwagon and does their own version, and it just doesn't work. So that alone, I like actually deducted points in my head for including that on this record. You got so many songwriters just dying to get their songs on a Rascal Flatts record, and you're doing a cover that's already been done better. Don't do it. But Vandalize is a cool song, and Are You Happy Now was cool, and a couple other ones. So there you go. 79 by Rascal is that. 78 is They Don't Make Them Like They Used To by Kenny Rogers. I thought I would like this more because it's a very AOR East Coast 1983 kind of thing. I think Jay Graydon is involved in this, and Steve Lukather. Like, it's not country at all. It's like 80s West Coast pop, but it did not do much for me. I liked a couple songs, but not enough of them. 77, back to Weird Al. Running with Scissors by Weird Al is number 77. What can I say? Number 78 is Overload by Harum Scarum. It's decent. You know, it's 50-50. You know, it's like, well, a little less than 50-50, you know. But it's okay. It's okay. If you like Harum Scarum, you'll like it. How about that? 75 is the Red Album by Sammy Hagar. Mostly the hits are the good ones on here. Red, Cruisin' and Booin', Rock and Roll Weekend. Other than that, you know, it's not really that great. That's why it's number 75, but so be it. Number 74 is, what was this called? Oh yeah, Swing Low by Sam Cooke. I don't know. Sam Cooke, you just listen to Sam Cooke sing anything, for God's sake. Oh, what did I do here? I made the wrong pile. All right. 77. Oh, excuse me. 73. Oh, I'm going to skip that one also because I know that guy too. 72. Sorry. Rising by Rainbow. It's good. It's not great. Again, this is a thing for me where these classic records, I grew up listening to bands that were influenced by this. So I've heard the watered down versions of these kind of records my whole life, to the point now when I go back and listen to the originals and they don't move me because I've already heard this. I've already heard Whitesnake. I've already heard Cinderella. That might be a bad example, but I've heard bands that have been ripping this off, so it doesn't move me like it should. My hard drive's kind of full. I liked it, but I didn't love it. Sorry. I know I should, but I didn't. 71 is Trouble in Paradise by Randy Newman. Again, I love Randy Newman. He is a genius, but this one is more hit and miss. There's like 4 or 5 genius songs, and then the rest is kind of like, I just don't get it. But there you go. 70, Back to Rainbow, Difficult to Cure by Rainbow. I liked I Surrender, Spotlight Kid, and Midtown Tunnel Vision. Other than that, didn't really care much for this record. There's 2 instrumentals out of 9. It just kind of felt sloppy to me, so there you go. 70, oh, that's 70. 68, Bad Hair Day by Weird Al. I've already covered the Weird Al territory. The Night Santa Went Crazy is on here, though. That's pretty cool. So there you go. 69 is Weird Al. 68, once again, sorry, Bridge Over Troubled Waters by Simon and Garfunkel. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can you do that? It's a classic, and you're right. There are songs on here that are gorgeous. Bridge Over Troubled Waters is such a great song. The Box is a great song. So Long, Frank Lloyd Wright. But they're couched in between these other 5 songs that are just, I really think that certain records, and this maybe I'm not this one exactly, but there is such a thing as they did do a lot of filler records. Like the industry, the world did a lot of. We got 4 killer songs. Now let's write some crap so we can get a full album out there. So we can get those 4 killer songs out there. I'm not saying this one specifically, but that does happen. 67. I'm sorry to do this. I love Nelson, but Imaginator by Nelson. I liked it, but I didn't love it, and I love Nelson. This was their concept record. This was the second record they ever made, blah, blah, blah. They weren't allowed to release it because it was too controversial. There are some great songs on here, but there's also a lot of stuff that didn't make sense for me. So I have a feeling that if I took real time and digested this more and listened to it in the dark like 6 or 7 times, I'd appreciate it more. But who's got that kind of time? So I pulled out some good songs. Do You Believe in Religion? I don't even remember the other ones I liked, but it was all right. 67. 66, back to Weird Al, Off the Deep End by Weird Al. I always loved When I Was Your Age. When I Was Your Age is such a great song. I really wish they would have played that on the tour, and he did play it on the tour, but not the concert I was at. Bummer. 65 is Souvenirs by Dan Fogelberg. Once again, 4 great songs, 6 so what songs. 64, same thing, Coat of Many Colors by Dolly Parton. Beautiful songs on here, wedged in between songs that I just went right through me. 63, RTZ, Return to Zero. This is the guys from Boston, the singer from Boston and the guitar player from Boston who made this after Boston. And it's more, I think Richard Zito, Chris Lord Alge, I never know how to say his name, produced and mixed this. There's some good stuff on here. There's like 4 really great songs, and then others that kind of just left me cold. Like, it was all right. It's worth having, but still, 63. 62, Taxi Tracks by Taxi. Again, kind of standing on the shoulders of all the stuff I grew up loving. There's some good stuff on here, and then there's some stuff that's very cookie cutter and redundant. But it's good, It's just not great. But it's hard to be great. Speaking of, here we go. Everyone's going to turn on me now. 61 is Purple Rain by Prince. I know y'all love this, but have you really listened to this? Like, have you ever really listened to this? Because I think this album has a reputation it doesn't deserve. There are great songs on here, but it's not like chock full. It's not like 9 incredibly great songs. Purple Rain, the song, to me, sorry, I know it's sacrilegious. Purple Rain, the song, to me, is okay. It's just another 80s ballad. There's nothing exceptionally great about that song, lyrically, melodically, chord structure, or production. I don't know why everybody digs it, but whatever. Let's Go Crazy is a boring song. It's 2 chords, I don't get it. Take Me With You, I like. Beautiful Ones, I don't understand that at all. He's just screaming, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Speaking of not getting it, Computer Blue, don't get it. I don't get it. I love Darling Nikki. When Doves Cry is good for what it is. I can't even be objective about that anymore because that song's just part of the world. I Would Die For You, I like. Baby I'm a Star is boring. So there's 9 songs and it's good. It's not what everyone else in the world feels it is. At least it is to me. Personally, I like 3 songs on this album. 4. I like 4 songs. Take Me With You, Darling Nikki, When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You. The other ones, what do I know? All right, moving on. Number 60, Long Live Rock and Roll by Rainbow. I love hearing the early Dio stuff, and there is some good stuff on here, but, not all of it. It's 50-50. 59 is O-Town by O-Town, because I am a harmony junkie, and if you're not going to write songs that are lyrically amazing and make you think or anything, at least make them fun. Upbeat, fun, catchy earworms. I love the sugary, sweet, silly stuff. So there are some good songs on here. Don't care what you say. 58 is Nervous Night by the Hooters. I was expecting to like this more. I liked it, but I was expecting to like it more. And We Danced, of course. Day by Day is good. Don't Take My Car Out Tonight is cool. Blood from a Stone. Hanging on a Heartbeat. So 5 songs, 5 good ones. We're in the 50-50 territory now. And again, I am a harsh judge and I hate everything. All right, Wrong Things Right, Radio Sun, perfectly good record. It's just like the Taxi Tracks things I looked at. It's like people that grew up listening to the same things I did, and now they're just doing their own versions of them, kind of like I do. It's good, not great. It's not breaking any new ground, but it's covering the old ground very well. All right, 56, Heartbreaker by Dolly Parton. Again, 50-50. There's 10 songs, I like 5 of them. Sure Thing is cool. It's Too Late for Me to Love. I Want to Fall in Love. Nickels and Dimes. Baby, I'm Burning. It's fun. 55 is Bangin' by The Outfield. Again, 5 good songs. 5 songs I don't really care for. But Bangin' on My Heart again is awesome. Long Way Home. Since You've Been Gone. Good stuff. 54. We're coming back to Randy Newman. My Country is cool. Shame is good. I'm Dead, but I Don't Know It is a great song about being an old rocker, an old rock musician who's just said everything they're gonna say, done everything they have to say, but they keep going. It's actually a great song. I like it a lot. And then there's Miss You is a cool song. So that's a great record. But again, there were also songs that weren't that good. 53, Chameleon by Halloween. I liked this more than I thought I was going to. And again, I heard bits and pieces of this when I was younger, but I really sat down and took time to listen to this one now. And there's some good songs on here. Again, 50-50. 52, Both Sides by Joni Mitchell. I might be the only person, by the way, that jumps from Halloween to Joni Mitchell. I can't even read this. It's so, the writing is so small. Anyway, I don't know. 52. There you go. 51. One of the biggest disappointments for me. Rick Springfield's The Snake King. I love Rick Springfield. He's one of my favorites ever. And his record before this one, Rocket Science, is one of my favorite albums. Maybe my favorite album by him of all of his records. I love it. And then Blues. A blues record. I don't hate the blues. I'm bored by the blues. I read some article by Chuck, I can't think of his last name, who basically said that blues music has said everything it's going to say. It's done everything it's going to do. It's pretty much served its purpose. And blues music just bores me. So this was very disappointing, knowing how Rick Springfield can write catchy, upbeat, or downbeat, whatever, but like songs. This was just a blues record, and I did not like all of it. I liked some of it. There were still parts of it that were great, but I was very disappointed because lyrically it's awesome. Lyrically, it's off the chart for me. I love his words, and I read all the words, and then I listened to music, and I was so disappointed because the lyrics deserved better. But there you go. 50 is, what is this? Oh, My Kind of Blues by Sam Cooke. Yeah, Sam Cooke singing Sam Cooke, man. I don't know what else to say about that. 49, Time of the Oath by Halloween. I liked We Burn, Wake Up the Mountain, Power, Before the War, Anything My Mama Don't Like, and Time of the Oath. So, 50-50. Cool stuff. 48, believe it or not, Dare to Dream by Yanni. You can all laugh at me, and I don't care, but there it is, Dare to Dream by Yanni. There's some beautiful melodies in this, and I'm a sucker for beautiful melodies and good orchestration, so, yep, I put that above Purple Rain. 47 was Vicious by Hailstorm. Pretty good. I was happy after Into the Wildlife because I did not like Into the Wildlife hardly at all. So this was better. There was some really solid stuff on here. Again, 50-50. But the stuff that's good is real good. 46. I don't know. All right, so I had to stop the video because my phone gave me a weird message. So rather than risking the phone just eating this video that I recorded for half an hour, I'm just going to splice this together. So, all right, picking up where I left off. 46, here we go. 46, Via Musicom by Eric Johnson. I'd always heard the Cliffs of Dover my whole life, that beautiful instrumental. And I had this record forever. I never really got around to listening to it. And the random number generator led me to listen to this album this year. And man, that guitar tone he's got is so good. Very beautiful. I never knew he could sing. He sings, and he sings well. He's got a really good singing voice. I had no idea Eric Johnson could sing. So there's some really good stuff on here. Nothing can keep me from... You know what? It doesn't matter. Anyway, 46, Eric Johnson. All right, 45, Secret Society by Europe. Europe, The Final Countdown, like that band. This was, again, hit and miss for me. There's some good stuff on here, but... Again, 50-50. Essential for fans of Europe, but nobody else. 44 was Unisonic. The guys from Halloween, Michael Kiske from Halloween, and Kai Hansen, right? Kai Hansen from Halloween. They made this. Pretty good. There's parts of it that are amazing and parts of it that are boring for me. But that's pretty much what I've been saying lately. So There you go. 44 is Unisonic. 43. So I mentioned earlier that I like upbeat, silly songs, like earworms, like goofy pop stuff with harmonies. 43 is Lines, Vines, and Trying Times by the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, that's right. I'm not a huge fan, but these songs were catchy. Like 5 or 6 songs on here were catchy as hell. Just like fun, enjoyable songs. So, yeah, there you go. 43, the Jonas Brothers. 42, Randy Newman, Born Again. It's Money That I Love. Mr. Sheep is awesome. Pants, just silly. But yeah, there. 42, Born Again by Randy Newman. 41, Show Me Your Fangs by Matt Nathanson. I am currently trying to put some Matt Nathanson stuff in my head because I've always respected the guy, but I've never seen him live, and I'm going to see him in about 5 weeks actually from right now. And I'm only familiar with like a half to 2/3 of his discography, so I've been digging into this. So some good stuff on here. Bill Murray's a good song, and Washington State Fight Song. Yeah, I'm still kind of going through that one. So 41 is Show Me Your Fangs by Matt Nathanson. All right, top 40. Here we go. 40, Astra by Asia. If you know Asia, this is pretty much, it sounds like you think it's going to sound. I think 5, 6 good songs on here. Return to Zero is good, and After the War, Voice of America, or Countdown to Zero. I'm sorry, not Return to Zero, but there you go. 39 is Love a Little Stronger by Diamond Rio. Again, upbeat, fun stuff. 5 or 6 good songs on here. 90s country. I enjoyed it. 38 is Slow Dancing with the Moon by Dolly Parton. Pretty much what you expect. I think it's 90s Dolly Parton, 80s, 90s, 93 Dolly Parton. So it sounds like 90s record, but there's some good stuff on here. 38. 37, Sleeping with the Past by Elton John. There was actually more on here that I liked that I thought I was going to like. There was some good songs on here, and for some reason I always viewed this record as kind of like a throwaway. And then I listened to it this year and was like, oh, there's some really good stuff on here. Elton John, by the way, I still have all that's Elton John. Like honestly, from there all the way over is Elton John. And I still have at least 15 Elton John records I need to listen to in my life. 36 was Heaven Knows by Rick Price. This also falls under the category of the earlier stuff I was talking about, like Taxi by Trax and Radio Sun, where it's somebody like me who grew up loving the stuff that I love, and they made their own record of it. So, there's some really good stuff in here, like 5 or 6 really good, solid songs. I don't know what else to say about it. 35 was a bit of a surprise. Don't Be Cruel by Bobby Brown. I came to this because, like I said earlier, this was the year of Bruno Mars, and I was doing some research on the Bruno Mars records, and then it led me back to this. So I picked this up, and I tell you what, that New Jack Swing, which was really popular when I was a kid, like the Boyz II Men stuff, and this, some of it's really good. So there's some songs on here. I always loved Every Little Step. Every little step I take, are you making it? I love that song. And Ronnie was good. I never liked My Prerogative. Take It Slow is cool. All Day, All Night. So this is actually a good record. 35, My Prerogative by Bobby Brown. 34 is Perfect Timing by MSG. Always love Rob McCauley's voice. I ended up listening to this record because I went and saw the Michael Schenker tour, and so I thought I should get more familiar with some of the stuff. So I listened to this one. He's got another one that I did not listen to. Honestly, I only got the Robin McCauley stuff, and I don't even have all that. I think Save Yourself is one that they have, but it's like expensive, so I don't have it. 33, Groove Approved by Paul Carrick. Paul Carrick was the singer for Michael and the Mechanics, I think. Is that right? Hope that's right. And there's some really good stuff on here. It's just kind of like poppy stuff, but I love Bad News at the Best of Times. That's a good song. And what was it? Tip of My Tongue is good. Yeah. So, yeah, very good. Enjoyable. 33. Number 32 was 3121 by Prince. I still have a ton of Prince stuff to get back to, but like half this record, I dug the hell out of. There you go. 31. We are back to the upbeat, sugary, silly, pop, disposable boy band stuff. Take That, Nobody Else. I bought this record whenever Back for Good came out. That song, whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. I just want you back for good. Because I was like heartbroken when that song came out, and so I really identified with it. And I bought this CD I mean, it must have been new. So I've probably had this CD now for 20 years, and I just got around listening to it this year. And I'll tell you what, there's some fun stuff on here. There's some fun, good stuff. There's some sad stuff too, but there's some well done music on there. So 31, take that. 30 is Straight Outta Linwood by Weird Al Yankovic. There's nothing I can say I didn't already say about Weird Al. Great stuff on here. Virus Alert, I like a lot. Close But No Cigar is funny. So it's just Weird Al being Weird Al. 29, She by Harry Connick Jr. Again, my new appreciation for Harry Connick Jr. is growing all the time. I have a ton of his stuff to get to, but there was some really good stuff on here. Safety is Just Danger, Out of Place, Funky Donkey. Am I saying that right? I've been talking a long time now, so I'm kind of getting out of it. But Here Comes the Big Parade. Good stuff on here. 29, She by Harry Connick. 28, Color and Motion by Seventh Heaven. Seventh Heaven has consistently put out half good records, if that makes sense. Like their last 3 albums, for me, like half of the songs were killer and half of the songs were don't remember them at all. So I think there's 6 good songs on here for me, 6 out of 10. There you go. 28 by if you don't know who Seventh Heaven is and you're watching this and you love like old school Def Leppard, check out USA UK by them. I love that record. That's a big one for me. I love that one. So Color and Motion is number 28. 27, Songs from Lonely Avenue by Brian Setzer Orchestra. I'm sad to say that I finished my Brian Setzer education this year. But I love Brian Setzer Orchestra records. They're just so enjoyable and so much fun and so positive. And the energy is awesome and the musicians are top notch. So I really dug this. 27, Songs from Lonely Avenue by Brian Setzer Orchestra. 26. Oh, speaking of online YouTube album reviews that I got a lot of shit for, Traces by Steve Perry. This was an okay record, but it didn't blow me away. I have a YouTube review of this and people just tore into me. Like I said, if you don't agree, that's fine. I'm not going to agree with you. You don't agree with me. It's perfectly fine. There's 15 songs. 8 of them are good. I was expecting a little more. I was hoping for more and didn't get it. That's all. But it was still pretty good. Anyway, 26 is Traces by Steve Perry. And that's all I'm going to say about that because I'm going to get more anger. 25 is La Brock. This is a synthwave band. These are both 5-song downloadable EPs, so I just got them both at the same time and put them together and listened to it as if it was a 10-song record. And I dug it. So 25 is I'm just treating it like one record. So one's called Action and Romance, one's called The Real Thing. So I'm gonna call it the Real Action. And I don't know what I'm going to call it. Whatever. La Brock is 25. Good synthwave stuff. The guy's voice is really good. Great singer on that. 24. Alpocalypse by Weird Al. Again, same thing I was going to say before. You know, Weird Al being Weird Al. He's a genius. And he is. 23. Mandatory Fun by Weird Al. Same thing. Great stuff on here. If you either love Weird Al or you don't. And if you don't, well, you're just wrong. 22. Number 22, Unorthodox Jukebox by Bruno Mars. Young Girls Has Killed Treasure. I love Treasure. Moonshine was a good song. If I Knew was a great song. Kind of old school Sam Cooke-esque kind of stuff. I dug that. So, yeah. 22, Bruno Mars, Unorthodox Jukebox. 21 is Sings His Sad Heart by Matt Nathanson. Again, good stuff on here. 10 songs. I think 6 or 7 of them I like a lot. It's a singer-songwriter in the present day who's influenced by a lot of great people who really takes time to make sure the lyrics have some meat on the bone, some real words. I got a PhD in The Way It Used to Be. I got a king-size bed and a PhD in The Way It Used to Be. It's such great lines. He really takes his lyrics seriously, and I appreciate that. So 21, Sings a Sad Heart by Matt Nathanson's Top 20. Here we go. Speaking of people who take a lot of time with their lyrics, The Tree by Lori McKenna. This is a beautiful record. Once again, 11 songs on here. 6 of them are good, and I love The Fixer. The Fixer kills me. People Get Old is awesome. A Mother Never Rests. You Won't Even Know I'm Gone. The Lot Behind St. Mary's. Oh, man. It's just, there's some beautiful, beautiful stuff on here. So, number 20 is The Tree by Lori McKenna. Number 19, David Foster's self-titled album from 1986. I don't know what to say about this. I just really liked it. It's that really big 80s sound with the big drums. I mean, he's the guy that produced all the 80s Chicago stuff. If you don't know who David Foster is, well, he did a lot more than that. How can I even sum up David Foster in one sentence? So I'm not going to try. 19, David Foster, David Foster. Number 18, another synthwave band that I had to just print this out because it was a downloadable. I couldn't get the CD. But Atlas by FM84. It was good. I really enjoyed Atlas by FM84. Synthwave stuff. Again, if you like the Midnight, I'm trying to branch out from the Midnight. I love the Midnight. But I need more of that kind of stuff, and this is close. So there you go. 18 is Atlas. 17, Kansas by Kansas. I got to get through my Kansas education. I really don't know as much about them as I should. But Can I Tell You was great, and then Lonely Wind, Journey from Marylebone, and then the Mother Nature Suite. Oh, it's all cool, man. It's just amazing stuff. Recorded in 1970. What is it, 4? Just... God, they're so good. So 17 was Kansas, Kansas. 16 was Coverdale Page. I bought this when it was new, and I remember Shake Your Tree, Shake My Tree. And I remember I always loved Take a Look at Yourself, but I finally got around to really listening to the rest of the record this year, and this is really solid. It was better than I thought it was going to be. This was a good record. Nobody really talks about it anymore, but I think there's 11 songs. I think I like 7 of them. That's really good. So 16, Coverdale Page. Excuse me. Number 15 is Infinite by Stradivarius. So this record taught me that I got to get into more Stradivarius, because this is the first one of their albums I've ever listened to all the way through. I've always been familiar with the song Millennium and Infinity because my brother played them a lot when this record first came out, and I've always known the song 4,000 Rainy Nights by them. But other than that, I really didn't know much else by them, and I finally got around to listening to this year, and it is good. Like, I'm always looking for bands that are similar to Halloween and the Keeper of the Seven Keys era, and this was pretty good. I dug this. So 9 songs. I think I like 7 of them, 6 or 7. But I just enjoyed something that was like Halloween because I don't find enough of that. I need more of that in my life. There's a lot more room in my hard drive for bands that sound like Halloween than there is for bands that sound like Whitesnake, because I've heard all those. So I was pleased to find this, and I gotta get more now. 15, Infinite by Stradivarius. 14, The Ghost of Tom Joad by Bruce Springsteen. I really didn't think I was going to like this as much as I did, but it turns out I liked it just because of the lyrics, because of the stories, because of the scenery in my head from Tom. I just love well-written songs, lyrics. It goes a long way with me. You know, when they write things out and I can see the kitchen, and I can see the car, and I can see not many people can do that for me. So I really dug this more than I thought I was gonna. And I know a lot of Bruce Springsteen fans don't even really like this record, but I really liked it. So 14, Ghost of Tom Joad. 13, I don't know if any of you are going to know what this is. The American by Angie Aparo. This was great. I only know this guy because he wrote the song Cry that was on Faith Hill's record in 2002 or 3 called Cry. Great song, and I finally looked it up and got this record, and it was really good. There's some really good stuff on here. I don't even know, Green and the Gold, Spaceship was good. I think Hush was good. There's some good stuff on this record. I don't know how to explain it, honestly. Singer-songwriter, take a shot on him if you want, or I'll send you a couple songs. But 13, The American by Angie Aparo. And I'm sure I'm saying his name wrong. Number 12, Belly Button by Jellyfish. Not as good as Spilt Milk. Spilt Milk is an awesome record, but there was some really, really good stuff on here. I highly recommend this record to anybody who liked the 90s, but also wants like some good, like the vocal work on this, the harmony work on this, and again, lyrics are kind of out there a little bit, but I really dig it. So this is more of like a musician's kind of band, I guess I should say, because the chord changes in the orchestration is a little more expensive than other bands. But I really like this a lot. So number 12 was Belly Button by Jellyfish. Number 11 was Land of Dreams by Randy Newman. This is a good Randy Newman record. Dixie Flyer is great. Four Eyes was cool. Something Special is a great song. Roll with the Punches. Follow the Flag. It's Money That Matters. This, I Want You to Hurt Like I Do. This was good stuff. I enjoyed this a lot. I like Randy Newman's 70s albums a lot, but this was good. Number 10, back to the Brian Setzer Orchestra. It's just the Brian Setzer Orchestra being the Brian Setzer Orchestra. It's their first record. It's self-titled. It's upbeat and fun and great. a lot of energy, and I loved it. Basically everything I said about the other one, just this one's a little better. Number 9 was also the Brian Setzer Orchestra. It's Wolfgang's Big Night Out. I don't have the actual CD right now because I gave it to my mother to listen to in her car, so that's where it is. But it's a few originals, but it's basically the Brian Setzer Orchestra doing covers of classical songs, but doing it in the Brian Setzer Orchestra kind of way. So it's really cool, and again, very enjoyable. So there you go. Number 8 surprises me. I always loved the Scorpions. But the Scorpions, in my experience, with very few exceptions, have been albums of 5 good songs and 5 filler songs. But I tell you what, Love Drive, I liked. There's 8 songs on here, and I liked 6 of them. That's a pretty good ratio, 75%. By the way, we're at number 8, and I like 75%. That's how much of a jerk I am that I don't like anything. So Love Drive by Scorpions, very, very solid. Number 8 for me this year. Number 7 was 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. This was killer. This was just a lot of fun. 24 Karat Magic is a good song. Chunky is a great song. That's what I like. Versace on the Floor. Man, that guy can sing. And maybe my favorite song of the year, Straight Up and Down. Just, that made me so happy. That song just reminds me of high school. It's just this fun. I love Straight Up and Down. It's probably my favorite song this year. Just love it. And then Too Good to Say Goodbye was awesome. So, yeah, number 7, 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars. What a great record. Number 6 is very weird. I don't even know why I like this so much, but Psycho Derelict by Pete Townsend. It's a concept record, and I don't have the time to explain it because we're approaching an hour now of me talking. But it's a Pete Townsend concept record, and it was really well done. I don't know what to tell you. If you like concept albums, or you like The Who, or you like The Who's concept albums, but you never got around to this, I would check it out. It was pretty cool. It's more like a radio play. More like used to like, because there's a lot of narration and characters and people doing their own characters. So it's kind of like a radio play in a way. But I really enjoyed it. I can't even explain why. I just liked it a lot. So number 6, Psycho Derelict by Pete Townsend. Number 5, also a surprise. I've always loved REO Speedwagon, but wasn't expecting anything out of Good Trouble. But this was a great record. REO Speedwagon, man. They normally have really good solid albums, but this one, I liked almost every song on here. There's a couple I didn't love, but overall, this was a great record that you never hear about because there aren't any hits on here. Are there? Are there hits on here? No hits on this album. And I'm pretty sure this was the one they made after High Infidelity. Is that right? No hits, but very, very good. Maybe that's just because I grew up in the Midwest and I just have a soft spot for REO Speedwagon and Styx and all that. I don't know. But yeah, number 4, Good Trouble by REO Speedwagon. Or excuse me, number 5. Number 5. Sorry, who'd have thought? All right, number 4, Kids by The Midnights. My favorite synthwave band. I love The Midnights. Again, it's a downloadable, so I just had to print this up so I could show you guys. I didn't start out loving this because there's only 9 songs, and one of them isn't even a song. It's just some talking and like Saturday morning cartoon commercials. And then there's the song Kids, which is reprised later. So it's really, even the intro, Youth, isn't a song. It's just like some atmospheric synthesizers with speeches of people. I don't know how to explain it. So there's really only 6 songs, real songs on here, but I don't care. I love it. And I'm going to see them. I got tickets to see them in 4 months. So The Midnight, Kids. I couldn't stop listening to it. Probably because it made me feel like a kid. There you go. Top 3. Here we go. My 3rd favorite record this year was Tunguska by Treat. I love this. Is a great record. My favorite Treat album is still Coup de Grace. And then they did, what was that, Ghost of Graceland a few years ago, which was still good, but not as good as Coup de Grace and not as good as this. This is great. This is like just about as good as Coup de Grace. I love that there's some great stuff on here. Actually, the single, I think the single was Always Have, Always Will, and that's like, there's only 2 songs in here I don't like. I don't like Always Have, Always Will, and I don't like Creeps. But the other 10 songs, I love. I love this record. I also had a hard time stop listening to this record. Awesome. Tunguska by Treat. If you love all the Def Leppard, Bon Jovi, all the stuff, and you decided not to get this record, this was a really good one. I enjoyed the hell out of this. Number 3. Number 2 for me was my introduction to this band. Asia by Steely Dan. I've been a musician for almost 40 wow, for almost 20 years now. And I never listened to a Steely Dan record. And even the Steely Dan songs that I know, I don't really like. I don't really like Ricky Don't Lose That Number. Ricky, I don't really like. What are the other Steely Dan songs? I can't think of any more. Reelin' in the Years. I never really liked Reelin' in the Years. But I'd tell you what, this was great. And from a musician standpoint, like the fancy chords they're using and the production of it and just the harmony arrangements, this was a lot of fun. I love this. There's only 7 songs on here, and the only one I didn't like was I Got the News. I didn't really like I Got the News. But all the rest of these songs are killer. It was so much fun to listen to. So I really hope the rest of Steely Dan's records are pretty close to this, because I just dug this as a musician. I dug this production-wise. I really enjoyed listening to this record. So who'd have thought? Steely Dan, Asia, number 2. And my favorite album that I listened to this year. And now that I was talking about treat, maybe I should have made a treat, but here you go. Here's what it is. It's just a numbers game. I liked every song on this record. This album is a straight batting 1,000. Love every song on this album. Blackwood Creek by Blackwood Creek. If you don't know what this is Kip Winger. Kip Winger. It's a band that he did with, I think, his brother and somebody that they grew up with, right? That's this, isn't it? Basically, it sounds like Winger, but not quite as huge, if that makes any sense. But if you love Winger, you got to get this. It sounds like Winger went a little more rootsy. That's not the way to put it. Anyway, I love this record. There's everything in here is awesome. I had to listen to it a couple times for it to really hook me, but when it did, man, this is a great record. So, yeah, Blackwood Creek by Blackwood Creek. Love it. If you like Winger, just get it. Seriously. I can't imagine you not liking this if you don't like Winger, because it's the same writers, basically. Well, kind of. I guess Winger's more riff-oriented, because you got Rhett Beach doing all out of the guitar work, and this is more song-ist. It's not as riffy, I guess. But I loved it. I love this record. I could not stop listening to this either. So number 1, Blackwood Creek by Blackwood Creek. All right, there you go. That took an hour. Jesus. All right. Those are my top, not my top. Those are my everything I listened to in 2018. 145 albums. And that's where we ended up on them. And you can also see what a harsh critic I am and what a weird judge of music I am. But what are you going to do? There it is. All right, if you actually watched this, thank you so much. Go to the YouTube channel, subscribe. I got a lot of other weird stuff, me talking like this. I plan to start doing some more stuff on YouTube. I got things in the works, but I gotta just find the time to do them all, really. And that's kind of it. All right. Yeah, thanks for listening to me, and hopefully I'll find some more great records in 2019. All right, if you're watching this, thanks for watching. You take care, and that's all I got.